Right now we are at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Cooperation, we're heading towards their auditorium here in Mount Hope. So right here they have the World Cocoa Day and Expo, 2024, put on by the Cocoa Research Center located in UE, that's the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine. It was ongoing for 2 days, November 29th and 30th, 2024, and you not only had information about the Cocoa Research Center, CRC. They had different vendors and booths and samples of chocolates, our local chocolates and everything right here. And right, we get through with some cocoa tea as soon as we enter, which was amazing. So look out for it next time. Check out the Cocoa Research Center. They are doing amazing work in terms of conservation, in terms of trying to bring back the cocoa to be a powerhouse here in Trinidad and Tobago. And yeah, so hope you all enjoy this, mixture of education and chocolate, so to speak. Criollo type cocoa. There's some information here. It's pale color, plum beans, right? Then we have the one I love, the Trinitario. Yeah. And then you have, Forastero. Wow. Look at all this here now. They have a lot of information right here at this expo, and these are the different types of cocoa and cocoa beans. So you have the fermented dry cocoa beans, you have the broken cocoa beans, the shells and everything. And you have, I didn't even know UE made Spirit, this kind of dark chocolate.
Welcome to the Cocoa Research Center. This is our genetics and genomics section. What we do here is that we look at each individual variety of cocoa that we have, that CRC manages in its germplasm collection, over 2,400 varieties. And we look at the DNA, which is the genetic material of these cultivars, to see how they are related to each other. All right? So very easily, we take a leaf and we use a particular kit from LGC Genomics. And what we do, we sample tissue by using this punching tool, and we take out a few leaf discs, about 5 to 10 is sufficient.
Yeah.
Very little. We put it in one of these tube wells, and we fill up this whole plate, except for one column that serves as a blank, so that the company knows whatever results they get is true and accurate from the plant DNA. When we get back that information comes in from the DNA chain. So the DNA chain comes from the nucleus of the plant cell. So what happens is that this leaf tissue is macerated and all the genetic material is released, and now we identify particular spots on the DNA chain to get variations among and between cultivars.
Oh, okay.
With that information now, we do something very particular in that we look at the ancestry of these cultivars. So we have 4 examples here. West African Amelanado, which is from the population group Amelanado, and this is one of the cultivars that make up the West African cocoa industry. This is for bulk flavor, right? And we have IMC 67, which originated in Peru, which comes from a different group, Iquitos. And this variety is known for having large pods with many seeds.
Yeah.
Then we have 2 varieties that develop naturally in Trinidad. These are 2 Trinitario varieties, ICS 95 and ICS 60, which are fine flavor varieties, because they bring in both Amelanado and this group colored in orange from Criollo. Okay? So the Criollo cultivar has fine flavor, and Trinitario is a happy mix that developed in Trinidad that give us a worldwide recognition. Okay? These varieties were used in the ministry's TSH breeding program, releasing several TSH cultivars that are wanted throughout the world. And these were disseminated, the ICS cultivars and the TSH cultivars, in different countries, including Brazil as far as Indonesia, to have a mix of cultivars that responded well and grew well and formed the basis for the cocoa industry worldwide. Now, historically, Trinidad was a melting pot of cocoa germplasm, coming from the Caribbean islands, coming from Central America, coming from South America into Trinidad. and from Trinidad in the colonial period disseminated worldwide. So our varieties, not just those that are collected in the Amazon and present in our collection, but also developed naturally in Trinidad, the ICS Trinitario varieties and the TSH cultivar varieties from Ministry of Agriculture were distributed throughout the world and helped improve the cocoa populations and the cocoa industry. So we involved in bulk flavor and fine flavor. We offer this DNA fingerprinting service to clients worldwide, and we have clients from Mexico to Philippines.
Yeah.
Right? And they have all been very pleased with the output because they're able to tell of the varieties they collect in Peru, in Mexico, in the Philippines, in Uganda, are the varieties they have on farm different from each other.
Yeah.
And if they're different from each other, how different they are from each other.
Wow.
And then which ones do they have?
Yeah.
Which variety, which cultivar?
Yeah.
Right? And aside from that, what is the ancestral background? How is it mixed up? You know?
Yeah.
It's all these different mixes. And if the mixes are in a particular order and composition, what does that mean to the farmer?
Yes.
How can the persons use that now? Can I go into bulk market for bulk cocoa or shall I go into fine cocoa? If I'm supposed to have a clone like ICS 95, which is tolerant to frosty pot, I want to keep that on my farm.
Yeah.
Frosty pot is an emerging disease in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
want to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
Jamaica is now doing that with our help to identify ICS 95 throughout the island so the farmers can have a bank of material that is tolerant to this disease. Right? We are helping Peru. In Peru, we are looking at all the wild populations that they have and their fine flavor so that the industry in Peru can be catered and influenced towards fine flavor, towards origin flavor. We help farmers develop their marketing story.
Yeah.
Different are my varieties on farm from some other farm in Trinidad, right? So we've assessed Trinidad as a whole, and we find that different cocoa communities have different cocoa profiles. And
Yeah.
this cocoa profiles is related to different genetic diversities and genetic backgrounds of the cocoa on farm. From way back when cocoa was introduced into Trinidad, from the early years of breeding material to the late breeding material. You know, it's
Yeah.
a happy mix of cocoa that keeps us positioned at the forefront of the fine flavor industry. And other countries now are using our DNA fingerprinting service to make sure they can plan properly, plan their breeding to get improved cultivars that are good on the ground for their local industry. Plan properly to see what cultivars could come in that they can use now to breed to get better varieties, stronger varieties, superior varieties. And we are pleased to help these cocoa clients worldwide, locally, regionally, and internationally.
Thanks.
So, in cocoa, we have a number. As with most plants, there's always some disease that is prevalent in them, right? So, in Trinidad, we have two major diseases. We have witch's room disease and we have black pod disease. We've tried to demonstrate what the symptoms are for these diseases, and the team here, they would speak about recognizing the symptoms and ways in which we can mitigate the spread of these diseases and how we could control them as well. And you see, we have our very stylish cocoa tree, which is broom inspired cocoa tree, chocolate Christmas tree that we've tried. But it's very serious business in terms of the impact of these diseases on cocoa production, and it's very important that we adopt very innovative and appropriate strategies to control these diseases.
So the two main diseases that we have in Trinidad are witch's room disease, as you see here, with the pods, and witch's room affects the pods and the shoots of the plant. Primarily the shoots, but it also infects the pods, which is very serious if you're a farmer, because the pods is the economic part.
Yeah.
And then we have black pod disease, which infects all parts of the plants, from the root to go right up. But of course, the major symptom is seen on the pods. Okay? Now, at the Cocoa Research Center, what we do is we have a gene bank which contains probably over 2,000 different varieties of Theobroma cacao, okay, which is the plant that we get chocolate from.
Yeah.
Okay? So we do conservation. And with our conservation in our gene bank, what we do is we do research on these different varieties, because these are not commercial varieties.
Yeah.
These are plants that were collected in the wild and conserved, and now we do our research. So to combat these two diseases, these varieties that we conserve. They are unknown varieties in terms of their performance for disease resistance, how they behave in a farm setting, things like that, right? So what we do at the Cocoa Research Center to combat these two diseases, we are searching for material from our collection that could show some resistance to both diseases.
Yeah.
Okay? So how we do that? We do physical screening of the germplasm, as well as we do looking for genes for resistance in our genomics team. So that is some of the things that we are trying to do with the combating the disease in the cocoa, in the cocoa world in Trinidad. Apart from the science, we also try to sensitize the farmers to the two diseases. Like a lot of farmers don't know the differences between witch's broom and black pod when the disease presents itself on the pod.
Yeah, because I did not know about the broom. I just know about the black pod.
Yeah, so a lot of farmers would know the physical symptoms of the brooms as witch's broom disease, but they won't know the difference when they look at it on the pods. And treating both diseases are very different. Okay? So the first line for combating your diseases as a farmer would be to know what disease you have in your farm. Then you know how to approach it. And then we have, what we do is in our outreach, apart from our expo, we do disease management training for farmers. You know, like when we have a project, we will try to involve the farmers to sensitize them about the whatever methods we change, we tweak, whatever new things we learn. We try to share it with the farmers so that that knowledge could get passed on and they could incorporate it in their fields, because things change. The same way that we did it 50 years ago, it's not the same way we should do it now. So we have to keep changing and we have to keep teaching, our new things.
So he was running wild with the cocoa beans to go. Congratulations. That was amazing. He did 2 nights. Congratulations. Right, so excited.
Very festive.
So yes.
We had a lot of kids yesterday.
Then you have Perry's
So this is our cocoa teaspoons. It's an instant version. It's a dunk and stir concept. You simply add it to hot milk, dunk, stir, and then thereafter add sweetener to it. These are $15. Great for the office and great for Christmas presents. In addition, we have the cocoa tea jars, also great Christmas presents. Yeah, some people prefer the teas a bit more intense, so you can add 1 or 2 pods as you like. Yeah, and these are $35.
All right, nice.
What now, Ale? It's 200. Yesterday I had a chocolate fountain there, and I came prepared with my own strawberry.
And they had a chocolate fountain.
And I had a chocolate fountain there. I'm sorry.
I was going to message you, bro.
Yeah, those study time when.